March 22nd, 9:47 in the morning. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Welcome to Ace Attorney! Go!
Adrian did it?
That's just a terrible way to begin an episode, but okay.
That's what it looks like.
Dude! No way! That woman couldn't do anything like that.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I'm certain that there is someone out. What are you doing?
I'm just turning on my lava lamp here in the courtroom.
I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze. Alright. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
I understand.
Well, it's only time.
Mia!
Did you like my Yanni Yogi impersonation?
Oh, that wasn't what it said. I forgot. I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now.
It's just trying to change the subject.
Or Pearls either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
Beep, 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 beep.
It's him!
Beep.
This is Wright.
Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya! She's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present? What in the world would you want to give me?
You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! Beep! The kidnapper sent me a present.
Mr. Lawyer, dude. Who was that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you. So forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer?
He just doesn't answer. He just goes to the courtroom.
He's so ashamed.
March 22nd, 10 in the morning, District Court, courtroom number 3.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. All the prosecution and defense ready. The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright! What happened to Miss Von Connell? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor! Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has this morning. Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. What? Even my cat is shocked. Shot?
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present?
Ms. Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, bad things would happen. It would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane! Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good.
Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Ms. Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Judge is having problems. Ms. Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with all the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ongard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. Voices are so different and similar at the same time.
Man.
My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct for now.
For now?
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Detective Gumshoe?
The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir!
Oh shit, I gotta cut back.
Apparently.
This is the second time.
Ugh.
Are you okay?
Hopefully. Let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. My word. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one rough fight.
Everyone's just really emotional about Von Karma's shooting.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Press the button while I try to get rid of Mincy. Someone take it.
The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Coretta, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room.
Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin with your cross-examination. Probably should have a drink that's not just coffee.
Why?
Because it's like on the throat. Caffeine.
Coffee's good for everything.
Murder happened. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal, the ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. Then there was a short break. Special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the murder, when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during the 30-minute break period.
Continue. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah?
Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Matt Ongard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir.
She's pretty. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ongard. After visiting his room, she went next to the victim's room, get him for the show. Sir?
I see. That's when she found the victim's body. The cause of death wasn't
that because Mr. Corrido was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now a real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana.
His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir.
Banana scented bandana.
What's the judgment taking?
Then
You accidentally doubled up on some ads today.
Then what about the knife?
It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murder on our hands here. I think bananas have something to do with it.
Why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The German ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. We couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but,
But
the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
But
only the victims. Huh?
I see. Ah, so much for my theory then.
What convinced you? It had nothing to do with the case.
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside of the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel?
Yeah, that's right. So it had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that's enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana.
Banana.
Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why, then, did the police arrest Matt Engard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Okay. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
I didn't even get to do anything else with that other testimony.
Nope. Matt Engard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the German ninja's button. It was ripped right off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Engard's comma. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes it a premeditated murder.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. I don't like touching sticky things.
Maybe he was cutting a banana with the knife.
And there's the button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button is also covered in blood.
Yeah, and we know that the victim's blood is on the...
You know that the blood on it is the victim's blood.
That's what I said.
What?
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright?
I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
Does Edgeworth actually believe that it was the guy? Because it seemed like before they didn't necessarily believe, but if he did believe, then what if Phoenix just gave in there? Like, what would Edgeworth have done?
Like, well... Oh well. You can press as hard as you like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Did he really say usual pointless questions when he keeps losing?
The key to being cocky is that you never stop being cocky.
You gotta find new ways of being cocky. You can't just keep saying the same things and you just look sad.
But in the terms of popularity, Mr. Ongard won, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corona was always one step behind Mr. Ongard in everything. This year, it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Cordo lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Why was that so awkward? Wait just 1 second there. Mr. Ongard was beating Mr. Corida in the popularity polls.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Didn't we just go over this?
Didn't we just go over this?
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective?
It's not... Well, if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you are fired. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No!
Now, detective. Continue.
No. Not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir.
What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone?
You know, Edgeworth and Gumshoe's voice is the exact same. They just have different accents.
It's Elisha's voice over and over again. What do you expect?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's the same grovelly tone.
What do you expect?
I don't know, I was just saying, I was pointing it out.
Do Do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim?
Huh? What do you expect, pal?
Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Huh? We can't tell just by looking at it. And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on it afterwards.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir.
All right. I know it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in.
Thread.
Huh?
The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. A perfect match, pal. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. Why do they have to have these three characters in this one room?
When was the button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Coretta. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people.
Hey! What is he trying to say about me here? How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife.
How the defendant held the victim?
For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, Wright? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how that knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So the defendant, the owner of this knife, then?
The defendant, the owner of the knife, then? The judge wants to know.
There is no way this was premeditated murder, even if he brought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was premeditated murder, we're done for.
Phoenix.
Yes?
There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
A button covered in the victim's blood. A knife with on-guard's fingerprints.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
Judge is just too high right now.
We're still in a world of trouble.
Still thinking about banana.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix?
just lost Coelacanth.
Yeah, I think she actually wants to help Phoenix or Maya. Gate water.
Gate water. Nixon's gone to jail. Doesn't have the same ring to it. That's Watergate.
Wait a second!
What?
So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand.
Well, more that he bought a knife beforehand, but that's right, pal. More or less. The defendant
Did not buy this knife.
Huh? She waited a long time for Phoenix to finish his sentence.
Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh?
It has gate water seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before.
That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife is actually was
Need a cough drop, pal.
property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't. Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There is a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ongard. Yeah, they have live feed. Big Brother style. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps, is it a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ongard's knife was missing. Mr. Ongard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps. I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown?
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Sometimes seems like Phoenix didn't actually go to law school.
Well...
Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here...
That gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat!
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to the court?
Imagine I do, but what? Sure, if it's quite time
On
to
his camera. Or like this.
I'm not sure if it's quite. Can I just say that I have Maya who's hostage and just have the police go after her?
I don't know.
What if he kills her before the police can find her?
I don't know. Use an EMP so that way you can't hear anything.
Yeah, just like take out an EMP grenade and just throw it in the middle of court.
Phoenix has this. Just sitting around. Remove a scarf and then stab with a knife. Why would he kill him with the scarf and then stab with him? So it's premeditated to bring over the knife. Have any new evidence? This kind of thing I have is new.
There's one! One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I don't think he ever said this, did he? I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtain. It's for all of us.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence you must show to the court? This, but
Stupid.
I don't really see how this helps not incriminate the guy.
Just do it!
That much.
Your Honor, I want you to see this tabloid. Sorry, Wright, but this time your bluffing steered you wrong.
I can
thought for
see
sure it was
nothing strange about this evidence.
Wait!
You're fired, Mr. Wright. I'm a man of my word. That's enough! This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. It's extremely clear I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, and we will cause the death of Maya. Man on guard. Guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately. Goodbye, Phoenix. Why is he standing like that?